We are a couple months into our theme year of living compassion, and each month we have a story that we test on campus of all ages engage in various ways, today and throughout the month. Our story this morning is about Siddhartha Gautama, who's the spiritual founder of Buddhism.
I thought his name was Buddha, like these guys in this picture right up here.
Well, he wasn't always the Buddha, Daniel.
Really?
Really? You know what he looked like as a young man?
I don't know. Like that? That's a prince. That's not a
exactly,
Buddha.
exactly. He grew up within the palace walls and having no contact with the outside world. He had everything you could imagine. But a group of astrologers, when he was young, predicted that he would grow up to be a great emperor, or he would turn his back on all of that power and become a great spiritual leader.
I wonder which path he took.
Well, Prince Siddhartha married a beautiful princess, and they had a son, and they lived very happily together within the palace walls.
So he chose the path of being an emperor.
Well, not so fast. One day, Prince Siddhartha finally persuaded his father to let him go outside the palace walls to see the city that surrounded them. And what Siddhartha didn't know, though, was that his father had ordered the city streets cleared of anyone who was old or sick.
Kind of like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So, when Siddhartha and his assistants set out in their chariots for a tour of the city, they saw a lot of young and happy people. Yeah. However, they did happen across one weak old man who was on the side of the road. And Siddhartha had never seen anyone old or weak before, and so he asked someone to explain what was wrong with this man. Only then did Siddhartha learn how people grow old. Siddhartha was very affected by seeing this old man. It made him feel sad and curious, too. And so he went out to the city 3 more times, and during those visits he saw a sick man, a dead man, and a wise old man. And their suffering changed him. And so he made a big decision at that point. He left the palace life to go live out in the city.
So he did turn his back on all that power and privilege? These experiences in the street with age and illness and sickness and death really affected him, I guess.
They did, yeah. So when he decided that he would take off his princely robes and put on simple clothes, he cut his hair and he sent his assistant back to the palace with his horse, and he went to live a spiritual life. And one day, while sitting meditating under a Bodhi tree, Siddhartha reached enlightenment. From that point, he was known as the Buddha, the enlightened one, the one who saw the world and other people through a compassionate, loving heart. And he taught others to do the same.
So what we're saying about this story is that he felt something. He felt other people's suffering, their struggles, and it moved him to change his life.
It did.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting story. I don't think I've ever heard that story.
Well, it was the first time.
Yeah, this is the first time for everything. So, good. We hope the children are going to go to their classes. Many of them will hear this story again and talk more about it. Let's sing the children to their classrooms. The song is Go Now in Peace.